We are going to talk about a movie.
This is gonna be a disaster.
It was one of the best movies of the year.
It's gonna go so well. Probably one of the last movies I would ever want to see in a theater. Today, Jacob and I are going to attempt to review the movie we saw last night, Color Out of Space. This movie was a trip. It was a trip, and
Absolutely.
I don't even really know where to start with this movie. I just want to say that this movie is just uncomfortable. It is.
That's an understatement.
Uncomfortable, but you can't really look away.
No,
like,
it's
it's stunning.
Yup.
And it's horrifying.
Yup.
And it's crazy. Like, it just goes for it.
Yeah, no, it's I do agree that it is really, really good. Like,
Yeah,
really,
I think it's
really good.
It's a very, very well made movie.
Yeah.
I think it unsettles you in all of the ways that it sets out to.
Yes.
Like, the uncomfortable moments are very purposeful.
Yep.
You're supposed to be like, what the F, what the F, what the F?
Yep.
And you're definitely feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those movies that, like, you would joke about going to see on drugs, but if you did, you'd probably want to die.
Yeah, it's one that it is visually stunning. Like,
But it's also
gorgeous.
visually, like, so much.
Yeah, they throw a lot at you, and it's hard to explain what they throw at you because
I don't want to spoil anything for anyone.
and that's the thing. Like, this is a film that you don't really want spoiled for you
Like,
at all.
the trailer to me is perfect.
Yes.
Like, the trailer we've seen for this tells you pretty much nothing.
Yeah, like,
Which is great.
the only real thing that you could tell about this movie is that it's H.P. Lovecraft. That's
Yeah.
all. Like, it's a Lovecraft film, and if you don't know what that means, good luck with this film.
But I think this movie is going to find a very specific audience that loves it. I don't think everyone is going to come out of this movie enjoying it. I think, for me, this movie went right to the edge of being too much for me. Like, and it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm pretty good with gore for the most part. But it takes it right to the edge of visual horror for me, to where I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do... Like, it gets to a point where I kind of wanted to throw up a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot in this movie that it really uses sound to its advantage and terror.
To me, this is almost a companion piece to Annihilation for me. Like, I could see you watching both of those movies and almost getting the same message out of it, where it's, I'm not going to get too much into it, but to me, they both kind of put out the same message and the same sort of existential horror. Like, it's not jump scare horror. No, it's very much
it's
like...
It's very cosmic. Like, it's a cosmic horror film, which is very...
Which, to me, is like... Cosmic and existential horror are, like, the things that will keep me up at night. Like, jump scares are, like... I'm not good with horror at all in any sense of the genre, but existential horror will keep me up at night. Like,
there's images in this movie that I will not forget.
No.
Like, that are
they can never be removed from my brain.
And
like,
there's one that I can still feel. Just thinking about it, I can feel it, and... it's painful. Like, it is very, very painful.
This movie is just... Whenever I think about this movie, I just think it's freaking batshit crazy. Like, this movie is just
absolute crazy, and
it's so immersive.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't really allow you to take a step back while you're watching it.
No, you're kind of like the first 15 to 20 minutes draw you in, and then pretty much once shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan.
It hits hard. Like, when it rains, it fucking pours in this movie. And
I really loved... I thought the performances from everyone were incredible.
Dude, Nick Cage. He has found his new genre.
No, so he is... without getting into spoilers, I can't get into spoilers about why his performance is so good, but he is able to flip so easily.
I know. It's so good.
It's incredible. And, and you understand where his mindset is.
Yeah. I just want him to keep doing these really strange, like, fringe kind of movies because he was so good. But the whole the daughter, I don't know the actress's name, but the daughter in this film, she is so good.
She is. Like the whole cast are incredible. It's really, really creepy. Really, it's violent.
The pacing is really good.
Yeah, you never like. The start was a little slow for me, but I kind of went in. You kind of go, okay, it's a horror film. It's setting up for something, so you're going to expect that little bit of a slower pace.
But then, like you said, once it starts getting into it, you're along for this ride, and the pacing really does help with. Like we said, like the situational horror, like it takes its time getting you to those moments that it wants you to react to. And then when it gets there, you're just like, I can't look away, but I don't want to look at it. But
there's a few moments where I was hiding behind my.
There was a few scenes where I was like,
because you knew there's moments where I wanted to watch,
but I knew. I was like, you do not.
Yeah, like you just like, no, I don't want to. I want to watch this, but I really don't.
And then there were other scenes where he was like.
Yeah, I knew you were, Jesus.
But the thing is, it was a really great movie going experience. It really stuck to its tone for the entire movie, which was really great. It just completely knows what it wants to be.
Yeah.
The only real criticism I have, and it's a very minor one, is I think the movie is literally 5 minutes too long.
Yeah.
There was a scene that I wanted it to end on, and then it goes into like another 5 minutes that I didn't think you needed.
No, the ending's a little...
Like, I think you know which scene that I'm talking about of where I wanted it to end.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a natural ending. And then it keeps going.
Yeah.
But not for very long. Like I said, only for about 2 to 5 minutes.
And that to me is the other thing I'd maybe call out as a criticism. Kind of at the end of it go, okay, that was a really cool horror film, but it feels like it's trying to say something, and I don't know what it was trying to say.
Okay, but you're just that kind of person because you don't like Annihilation.
Yeah, true.
So that's when I say it's a companion piece to Annihilation. It has that same kind of message where at the end you have to figure out what the hell it's trying to tell you, which I love, which is why I love Annihilation. And I think that's also why I really enjoyed this movie, although it's going to take me a while before I can watch this one again.
Easily.
Annihilation I can watch again because it's horror, but it's very like it doesn't go as far to the line by any means as this movie does. At least in my opinion, it doesn't. But like this movie, it's gonna stick with me for a while. I'll tell you that. Like I'm not gonna forget things about this movie because there is so much in there where it's just like, I freaking know what's coming and I want nothing. And then you're like, oh, do I know what's coming? Actually, I'm not sure if I know what's coming. Like it's made so well, but it's definitely not going to be for everybody.
No, definitely not. If you are a cosmic horror guy, or girl, if you're someone who really enjoys, there's a lot of body horror and a lot of cosmic horror in this. If you have to know. If you like those type of horror films, you're going to enjoy this.
It's gory as well to an extent.
It's gory. It's just a lot of fun.
It is. I'm really glad we saw it.
Yeah, same.
It was one of those experiences that I'm really glad we had. I wish there would have been more people in the theater.
Yeah.
But it was still really cool to see on a big screen. Definitely, I would recommend checking it out if you know you can handle the elements that Jacob was just talking about.
Yeah.
If you're not really someone that can stomach those things, I maybe wouldn't recommend it just because it might be a bit too much for you at certain points. It goes pretty hard at certain at certain moments. So just keeping that in mind, I would recommend it to certain people. I would have to know that this kind of movie is your movie.
Yeah.
Or you have an open mind and a really hard stomach. Those are really the only kind of people that I could recommend this to. But if you're considering it and you think it looks interesting, I would highly recommend it because it'll probably be a movie that you enjoy a lot. If you guys have seen this movie, please leave your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you about it, because I'm sure there are going to be some pretty wild opinions across the board on this movie, and I'd love to talk with people about it. If you want to see our ratings and our attempt at reviews, our letterbox links are in the description. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and we will see you next time.